Stock market today analysis for Thursday, March 16th, 2023. At the 1 minute mark of this video, a link is going to pop up right here to a video that gives you 5 reasons why I think you should be selling cash secured put options. When people know the reasons why, figuring out the how-to becomes a lot easier. This website, ihavesuccess.com, which there's a link to below this video in the description, gives you access to helping to figure out the how-tos. I got a free 5-video YouTube playlist here that you can use in conjunction with some downloads. You can hit it under the free stuff. You can get it right there. Just as a reminder, the 1 minute mark is coming up. Boom! You see that link pop up? I put it at the 1 minute mark so you don't have to worry about watching it right now. You can watch this video and then come back and watch it. Also, in conjunction with the free stuff, if you want to expedite this, you can do some paid stuff. Check that out. If you have any questions for me, right here, contact us. I'll get back to you. This strategy is really good for people that are beginning in the markets or people that are really busy. If you're beginning and you're really busy, perfect. But being a busy person, you'll love this strategy because you don't have to spend a lot of time in front of a computer screen. You can be doing things that you love or things that you got to do that you don't love. We had this week lots of market moving events happening. All these events, though, that we see in red, even though there's a lot of them, and they generally will have a high impact expected, none of those seem to affect the market as much as this banking stuff. Now, right here, there's 6 headlines. Maybe it's like the top headlines that FinViz comes up with. I'm not sure, but we saw one of them just change. So look at this. Asian stocks gain on bank rescue. Mexico's top central banker. Mexican banks robust. This one, nothing about banks. Inside the rescue of First Republic Bank. First Republic, which is a bank, right? Deposits, banking, biggest banks. So out of 6, we got 5 out of 6 headlines all about banking. So the things going on with the banking situation is affecting the market more than these pre-scheduled announcements, which normally do. And another thing I wanted to point your attention to is look at how crazy this is. So we had was it Silvergate Crypto Bank or whatever it was that had some sort of problem. Then the Silicon Valley Bank is really getting the headlines. Then Signature Bank right behind it. And overall, when you have a country, a city, or something like that, when they run into a bunch of banking problems, that would give if you look at what sort of indication is that? Is that an indication of robust financial health, or is that an indication of something less than robust financial health? I think we can all agree that at the minimum, when you're having bank failures, like 3 in 1 week, that at the minimum, it's an indication of less than robust financial health. But nonetheless, when we look at the heat map, we see the majority is green. Today we had more advancing stocks than declining, although we have a new low, 441 stocks hitting new lows. And then almost 80%, 77.8% below the 50-day moving average, 65% below the 200-day moving average. But mainly green here. So the heat map's interesting, but maybe we need to look in a little deeper. Speaking of looking in a little deeper, let's just take a quick peek. Very quick peek. I know a lot of times I say it's going to be a quick peek and I end up getting caught looking at the futures, but just quickly, like here's the newest candle right here, right? These are the four main indices of the stock market. Futures for the four main indices. What if you are just kind of a beginning trader or a busy person, it's nice to just have the futures available on your cell phone because they're trading longer than the stock market. So it just gives you an idea of what might happen tomorrow. But right now, okay, this was our most current close candle, right? And a bullish candle across the board. And right now we're trading at the top range of those bullish candles. So to make this faster, let's flip over to what happened today. The dollar's been all over the board, right? Wow, it is all over the place. And TLT, 20-year treasuries, having a hard time breaking above this 200-day moving average. Gold, here we are drifting up higher. Oil came down here, made a new all-time low at 65.65, and sort of trading in the lower 50% of that range. Not sort of, it is. Bitcoin looks a bit like gold, huh? Isn't that's interesting. The VIX, look at the volatility index is really volatile, up and down in there. So we got the S&P 500 finishing on a strong up candle. Not as strong over here in the Dow Jones, but closing right here in this kind of resistance line. Where over here we broke through that resistance. We're up here. NASDAQ just skyrocketing up. Look at that. And the Russell 2000 is probably gonna, with this sort of like bottoming, and then we got this kind of like this bullish engulfing candle where the body of this is bigger than the body of this, tends to indicate upward motion. It would be stronger if see it opened here. It'd be stronger if it opened here and we had it up here. But nonetheless, that's what we see going on. Looking at our 12 indices for the stock market. Yep, we see that. We see that representing the technology. So the technology ETF. The index, the NASDAQ, like a technology index, looking like that technology ETF. Healthcare got some bullish action. Probably got bullish action across the board. Pretty much across the board. Let's not lose sight of the fact that out of 12 different sectors that we're looking at, one 200-day moving averages has a slight slope up, but is definitely sloping up. Two, I guess, kind of have a slope down. It's not super strong, but overall, it's a lot of sideways 200-day moving averages, and that's definitely kind of downish. It's downish. That's sort of downish too. So overall, if we take a quick look at those moving averages, we're seeing a little more to the downside. We'll look here at the S&P 500 via SPY. Still got this increased volume coming in, and let's see what happens. We want to see, still under that 400 area, so we need to see what happens in there. Apple's getting above this 555 by 85 cents. 555. Sorry about that. 155 by 85 cents. And we'll see if it is going to continue that. Microsoft, look at that strong movement to the upside here in this resistance range. Amazon hitting this resistance point where it's not the strongest, but we definitely see a bit of resistance, support resistance area right in there. Meta broke out above its resistance, continuing to move higher. Google for unbeknownst reasons to most of us. Google's in there twice, and it is shooting up. Berkshire Hathaway also giving us some bullish indication. Tesla, the only one that's not looking too bullish, and we're really kind of falling off in the volume there. Nvidia, look at that, continuing this bullish trend up. JP Morgan Chase, looks like it might be bottoming out. We're going to look next at the NASDAQ, because the NASDAQ is basically all the same. The top 10 stocks of the NASDAQ are basically the top 10 stocks of the S&P 500, with the exception of Adobe and PayPal are in here, whereas in the S&P 500, it's Berkshire Hathaway and JP Morgan Chase. So it's probably doesn't seem very diversified, right? For all this talk of diversity and inclusion, it doesn't seem like people in the stock market are doing much diversity and inclusion. And I think some ticker symbols have the right to file some civil lawsuits here. Well, this is what we see. Boom, this shot up here in the Qs. PayPal kind of reminds me of Tesla. I'm going a little bit on the sideways. Oh, there's some bullish action hitting up there. Okay, let's see what's going to happen. Is it going to keep going? Break past this 200-day moving average? Let's move over to the Dow Jones. We got a little bit of overlap in the Dow Jones, but not nearly as much as the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. And Dow Jones up, hitting this 200-day moving average. See how it's going to end the week, since we have tomorrow being the end of the week. United Health Group getting some up momentum right in there. Goldman Sachs, all right, pulling some bullishness there. Home Depot still kind of on this downward trend. Microsoft we already looked at. Salesforce re-climbing the stairs to break this top. It's going to be interesting to see how this pattern plays out there. McDonald's, all right, back up to the top of its trading range. Honeywell, bullish candle, but it's kind of looking weak. Maybe it's going to start reversing with everything else. All right, look at this. Traded all the way down here on Visa, and then traded buying pressure just pushed it all the way up to the top, almost all the way to the top. See a little bit of wick kicking out there. Amgen kind of building this sideways range after this big drop. Boeing looked like it was having that snow off the roof thing, but closing with a big bullish candle today. And then let's finish up with small mid-cap stocks, IWM, aka the Russell 2000. Look at that. Boom! Shooting up. Lots of volatility. Tell you what, good buddy Brent really wants to move to the Eastern Standard Time Zone, because I try to wake up at like 3 in the morning. Stock market's open up, I think, at 3 now here. Man, it's just getting that extra 3.5 hours of sleep, 3 hours of sleep. It just makes my life different. And Paul Sheely from Learning Strategies has really just kind of mentored me over and over that sleep is really, really important to the brain working properly. So good buddy Brent's got to make some adjustments. And here we go on AMC. I guess AMC is starting to get the news that it's just time to go up. It doesn't matter about fundamentals. It's just time for stocks to go up. Shockwave, not sending shocks waving through this chart at the moment. It seems to be hitting this resistance of 200 right in there. Biohaven, we need some volume. You got to keep trading longer. Where's your volume? Missing a lot of volume here. And so it has nice bullish candle right there. Maybe we'll see some more stuff to the upside. Seems like the 15 getting caught right there at the $15 mark. And Intelia really seems like this $40 might be a little sticking point. It seems it goes a bit above, it goes a bit below, and kind of comes back to this $40. So how far? Just kind of going sideways in there right now. Crocs. I went out of my way to look for some people wearing Crocs today, and I saw at least one person that I remember off the top of my head. And that is looking bullish. Crocs probably going to get back up. I want to doubt it if it gets at least up into here, about 125-ish, and then let's see what it hits tomorrow. Right? Can it get all the way up to 130? Probably at least 125. And Chart Industries. Chart Industries. I don't know much about this stock. I know a little bit about stock charts, but I'm not sure if the stock chart of Chart Industries is, I'm not sure if it's the same thing. Maybe it's two different things. But it's looking some bullish there, even though, look at this. It dropped down, gapped up to the top of this drop right here, and just slowly floated back down. So 3 days later, we're back down here. That's not looking too good. Kataruna. I'm not sure how that's pronounced, but it's basically going sideways, and it dropped down a little bit. Reminds me of sometimes Bitcoin was doing this in the past. It would drop down, drop down. And this semiconductor company called, is it Lattice? I don't know. You tell me. I'm not very good with pronunciation. And we look bullish, though, don't we? Apelios. Hey, come on. Apelios. Looks like it's just overall a lot of volatility. Average true range about $2.69, but over here is this average true range about $3. I like the average true range about $3 a little more. Guess it doesn't matter what out of those two numbers it doesn't matter what I like, but I can shop around, look for some stocks that have the average true range that I like. I guess it really depends on what we're doing. Meaning, like, if I want to do something like want some high volatility, then yeah, big volatility, true range. Sometimes I like to sell options on stocks that don't have much true range and aren't volatile, even though the premium's not that good. I like more of the predictability sometimes, so it just depends. Take a little peek at our slow stochastic right here, stochastic slow. It's been a while since I set this up, so I kind of forget exactly. I think this might be maybe like a 3-month trend, 6-month trend. I can't remember, 3 or 6 month, and this is much shorter. This might be a 3-month trend, and this might be more like a 2-week trend or something. I kind of forget, but you can see this red line is really representing this part quite well right here. And this is a lagging indicator. And right now our red line is under the purple, so that's giving us that it's reporting to us a downward trend. We see here let me let you know on this part though. See down here where your red line was under the purple line, and then it crossed up here, right? It fell back, but it crossed again, and it goes into this uptrend for a while, right? Starts kind of testing that uptrend and testing it, and kind of getting weak. So our candles in this will kind of give us an idea. Like we see we got a bit of a ways to go in order to make that go up. But it's a lagging indicator, so I don't know what you want to do with it. I think in some circumstances it can probably be pretty helpful, but for your good buddy Brent, what I've been doing, it's not necessarily the most helpful, but I like to look at it from time to time just to check it out. And basically we got a low, we got a higher low. This is gonna be a higher low. It's not much higher, but as far as our little uptrend that we had going on right here, okay, that's been violated. We're really still in between this like 380 and 420, in between the 380 and the 420, which some people, I gotta point this out to my 420 fans, but you know what? There's also some 380 fans out there too. And I know the big debate will come in as soon as we say, 380, blah, 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 blah. But, if you know what 420 is, you can laugh at that. If you know what 380 is, you can laugh at that. Hey, the stock market's got something for everybody. And right now, we're between 380 and 420. We're between high and putting, potentially, if there's got enough penetration power, to put people low. So, so, so 400, right? It's kind of in this middle mark. What are you guys going to do about it? That is really the question, right? What are you going to do about it? There's a lot of, as my buddy Bill said, there's a lot of talking going on her. So there was a lot of talk going on her. And what are you going to do about it? I'll tell you what, if you don't have a lot of free time, or how about if you don't have a lot of desire to sit around and look at this type of stuff? You know, me personally, I love looking at this stuff. I keep looking at it for fun. I love listening to it. I absolutely love everything about the markets. Maybe you don't. So what are you going to do? Give you a little suggestion. Basically, if you got an internet connection, a bank account, and you spend money at least once a year, you really have no legitimate reason not to be selling cash secured put options on stocks you would be happy to own. And the reason why I say that is it doesn't take a whole lot. This type of strategy, it's easy, but it's not simple, right? Some things, you know, they're simple, but they're not easy. Well, this is the other way around. It's easy, but it's not simple. Why is it not simple? Well, because the first thing you got to do is you got to learn some jargon terms. You have to understand what a put option is, what a call option is. You might have to understand what enterprise value over EBITDA is. You might have to understand what free cash flow means. You might have to understand what a strike price is. You might have to understand what delta means. You know, so there's this little barrier of entry of learning new jargon terms, right? And that's all they are, is jargon terms, right? Whether they were made jargonish on purpose to confuse people, to keep them out, or not is, you know, it's up for debate. If you want, you can go on the chat rooms, you can keyboard warrior it and debate it all you want, or you can just say it doesn't matter. And am I going to let jargon terms stop me from making the type of money I want? Am I going to be that weak of a human being that jargon terms are going to stop me? And that's up for you to decide. If you are going to be that weak of a human being, that's you. If you're not going to be that weak of a human being, that's you. Whatever it is, it's up to you to decide. So that's the first part, is figuring out these jargon terms. And you can figure out these jargon terms with the help of this playlist. And then as you figure out some of those jargon terms, you got to be able to figure out a stock that you'd be happy to own. And these downloads and the last video of this playlist will help you to figure that out. And then from there, it's just a little bit of practice. Get yourself a paper trading account. Start doing that if you want more personalized help. And I'll tell you what the key to me really helping you is I am a master salesman. And you might be thinking, why would that matter on selling stock options? I'm not trying to learn sales. I'm trying to learn how to make money in the stock market. That's right. And a lot of people think being a salesperson is about talking people into things, convincing people and things like that. No. Maybe convincing people, that might be a little bit, that's maybe low level sales, or maybe that's con artistry. I'm not sure. But what I can do is I can start figuring out your situation, see what it is you want to do, and help you see the things that you might be missing. You know, so for example, if you are overly focused on the money you're bringing in, if you are trying to implement a strategy or implement something that's just not long-term geared to your habits. You know, for example, I'm in some pretty good physical shape, if you don't mind me saying. So when people come to me and they ask me, hey, what do you do? What do you suggest I do to get in shape and stuff? The first thing I find out is what their current routine is. If their current routine is 0, then I suggest they start with something very, very simple, so they start building the habit. Because if you stop, it doesn't matter how great the routine is. If you're not doing it anymore, it's not working. Right? That is right. So same thing with trading. There's a lot of people that will show you all these fancy strategies, but what they're not able to do is think about what your life is like and how you need to implement something into your life so you continue doing it for the next 48 months, right? Not 24. You need to go longer than that. How about the rest of your life? Create habits. crawl, walk, run. And this, my friends, I can help you do with this. Hit me up if you're interested. Or, maybe if you want me to date your daughter, hit me up with that too. Aloha.